Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Divinely You. My name is Jennifer and today I wanted to share with you this BSU inspired eyeshadow tutorial. So if you aren't from Idaho or if you haven't heard of BSU somehow, which I don't know how because they're the best team ever, then this is their colors and I really wanted to do a BSU inspired eyeshadow tutorial today for you because I know that Father's Day is coming up in a few days and by the time I post this, it'll be tomorrow. So I wanted to say happy Father's Day to my dad. This one's for you, Dad. I wanted to dedicate this to him because he has taught me so much throughout my life and given me so much. So thank you so much for everything that you've taught me and all of the fun memories that we have shared. I am so appreciative of everything that you have given me and done for me. So thank you so much, Dad. 1,000 kisses. And also a big shout out to my husband, who is such an amazing, wonderful dad, and he is also just the best spouse I could have ever asked for, and I'm so grateful for him. And also I wanted to give a shout out to all of the other men in my life. So you know who you are, and I hope that you know I'm thinking of you. And without further ado, let's jump into the video. Alright, first let's just talk about the elephant in the room, which is the fact that one eye is done and the other eye is not done. And the reason I did this is because I am testing out whether or not people are enjoying the shorter videos. So I tried to think of a creative way to make this as short as possible. So I went ahead and did all of my face makeup and this eye, and then I'm just going to show you how I got this look by doing this eye for you. So let's just go ahead and get started. And first off, we're going to be using the Jaclyn Hill palette. And I will say that we are using several palettes today just because for this specific look, I was aiming for specific colors. So first we're going to be going into this shade right here for our transition. And this is the shade Silk Cream. And I'm just going to be taking this right underneath the brow bone here. And I just use windshield wiper motions in a gentle swipe across my eyes, I guess. And that's pretty much it for that. Now we're going to be moving on to this Milani palette right here. This is the Earthy Elements palette, and we're going to be using this orange shade. And I'm going to be doing a cut crease, so I'm not too worried about exact placement as far as it going a little bit too low. But I do want to make sure that it doesn't go above the transition shade that we already put in there. And I'm just going to start slow and then just keep building up that color. And because this orange is a less pronounced orange, and I want it to be a little bit more of a BSU orange, I am actually going back to the Jaclyn Hill palette, and I am going into the shade Creamsicle. That's this orange one right here. And I'm just grabbing a little bit of that and putting it right on top of the other orange shade just to brighten it up just a little bit. And then what we're going to do is a cut crease. So this is my concealer right here, and what I'm doing is I'm just going to be taking this on my lid and I'm going to go ahead and grab my mirror so that I can see what I am doing. And I just close my eye as much as I can while also still being able to see, and I just make a line with my concealer. And I do try and wipe as much off of this applicator as possible so that I don't get too much. And if you want, you can even go in with a flat brush to do this. That is something I recommend doing if you're a beginner for sure. So for example, this one's not like the flattest one I have ever, but I need my other flat brushes for the other details we're going to be doing later. So I'll just show you with this one. You can just go ahead and take this and just create a line right where your crease is and make it a little bit more dramatic. And then I'm just going to use my finger to pat it out a little bit. And this is going to be the base for the blue, and this is actually a very pale gold, which I know BSU doesn't have gold in their color schemes, but having white right here is just a little bit too drastic when I tested it out. So anyway, let's keep going. Now we're going to be jumping back into the Jaclyn Hill palette and using the shade Twerk, which definitely reminds me of BSU, and it actually looks a little bit brighter on my particular monitor than it is in the pan, but this color really in the pan is pretty much spot on from what I can remember. So now we're going to just use a flat brush, and I'm going to be taking it along that crease, and you just want to make sure that you don't go above the cut crease. And I leave open this middle portion here, and then I just go back into the center. And if you want just a little bit more color payoff, then you can take any kind of setting spray. So I'm just going to be using the L'Oreal Infallible spray, and I'll just dampen this a little bit. And I'll just go back into the blue shade and just kind of go over where I initially put down that color. And then you can slowly bring it toward the center, but you want to make sure you leave room for the gold in the middle. And then before I jump into the gold, I'm going to raise my eyebrow, and I'm just going to go right over the top and connect the blue just right at the very top of my crease. And yeah, you might not be able to see that later, but it just helps to create a flow, especially when your eyes are closed. So I recommend doing that. And now we're going to go into my Morphe 35F palette because I really like this gold right here. I just think it's a nice, not too yellow, subtle gold. And I'm just going to use my fingertip and press that right on the center. Then I'm going back to my brush with the blue on it, and I'm just going to make sure that these are blended well together. And this may be a very dramatic look, but it definitely, once again, this blue looks way brighter on camera, so it's not that overpowering in person, but it does kind of look like that when I'm looking at it on my particular monitor. So just keep that in mind. But also, it does calm down once we get the rest of the under eye and the mascara and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my eyeliner. Now I'm going to jump back into the Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm going to use this brown and this brown right here just to darken up the very edge of this right here and just kind of connect my brown and orange color. So I'm just taking that kind of on that diagonal right here, and then I'm just taking it slightly in right at the corner. And that just kind of blends it all together. And since I have already done my face makeup this time around, which I sometimes do in my personal life, I just don't recommend it for beginners all the time because if you make mistakes or if you apply it a little messier, then it's harder to correct that. But I am going to go ahead and use my concealer to crisp up this line, and then I'll go ahead and do the under eye. So I will do that off camera and I'll be right back. And now I'm going to go ahead and jump into this Milani palette once again and get this orange on a flat brush, and I'm going to take it right underneath the eye. And again, I recommend using a mirror just so that you make sure that you're getting close to the eye but not in your eye. And then after we have done that, then I am going back to the Jaclyn Hill palette once again, and I'm going to be using this brown shade and this brown shade here. So that would be Central Park and Mocha, I believe. And then I'm just taking this even closer to the lash line. Now I'm once again jumping back into my 35F palette, and I am going into this shade right here and putting it on both sides, and I'm going to be taking this just underneath my eyebrow right here, and then I'm taking it into the inner corner for an inner corner highlight, and then just the very first third of my eye right here. And then all I have to do is apply my mascara and I'm done. Well, this is the finished look right here, and I hope that you like it. I hope that you had fun watching me do this fun BSU video, and leave me comments down below if you have a favorite sports team and if you've ever wanted to try out doing eye makeup that matches. See you next time. Bye!